Hello, today we're gonna take a look at the hidden secrets in the DLC, but first, let's quickly check out the main menu and the chapter selection screens up close. Nothing here that you can see from the normal view, but it's still neat to observe it from this perspective, and because this is supposed to be very zoomed out, developers didn't even bother to give Six the lighter, so she just produces fire straight out of her hand. The last chapter selection room has a hidden lady, forever stuck in this weird animation. If you want to see a full exploration, link to the video will be in the description. Alright, to the actual DLC now. Starting cutscene happens in its own room above the main level, and who's that? Oh, it's Granny. Don't worry, we're gonna go say hi to her real soon. Here's a close-up on the kid the janitor is chasing, and the girl that leaves the flashlight for us looks like this. This room is actually accessible to the player, not intentionally, but if you read it really fast, you can get there, and it's used by speedrunners to save 3 minutes of this chapter with absolutely crazy blind jump through out of bounds. When entering the pipe, Runaway Kit just stays in the hole, which is not even aligned with the pipe, then the animation for the pipe is played and then he's teleported to the end. Alright, now I want you to mentally prepare to see Granny up close. Ready? Don't say I didn't warn you. Hello! Beautiful, and there are multiple copies of her. For example, at the end of the chapter she exists 4 times for each of the boss fight phases, and while she's waiting to be activated, she's stored in an interesting pose. For the ending cutscene, the kid in the cage is a copy and the real playable character is just turned invisible. However, they forgot to turn off the controls so you can freely move and even turn on the flashlight. It looks very funny. Or spooky. In the first cutscene of the second chapter, they also use a stunt double who then promptly falls through the floor where the real playable character is already waiting to be activated. Here's the Runaway Kid up close. Okay, so not a lot of stuff in the second chapter, but just like in the main game, some objects and NPCs are being stored outside of the level to make sure that they're fully loaded and ready to be called into the scene instantaneously. And sometimes there are messages left by the developers to explain what is happening here. Oh, and you can actually hug them out of bounds. So cute. The surveillance system works the same way as before. There are little scenes above the level with virtual cameras pointed at them that transmit the image to the eye display, but this time it's just pictures and not mini 3D scenes, except the last one where they have Six going through the shoe section. Some say she's still walking to this day. And let's move on to my favorite DLC chapter. What's yours? Leave it in the comments. At the first encounter with the lady, here's a better look at her dolls that are wearing masks and have some terrifyingly realistic eyes. This one has arms for legs, and this guy is missing an eye. Since the gnomes don't appear to have eyes, what if after gnomifying the kids, the lady somehow steals the eyes and puts them into her dolls? What do you think? Oh, and here's a ceiling light with a nice flower pattern on it. The mall is such a nice place. In the secret radish room, the plates have, and you cannot possibly see it from the normal view, but the plates have faces on them? My guess is that the developers just threw a random texture on it that happened to be someone's face, but I'm not sure who that is. Kinda looks like Granny. The way this cutscene with the spooky lady is made is the same as the eye surveillance system. There's a little scene under the floor that gets projected on the mirror, which is basically a display and not a real mirror like the toilet room in the first game. The lady's actual model looks perfectly normal here, and the spooky lady's model seems to be based on Granny, but slightly modified. During the gnomification process, Runaway Kit clothes are being stored on the ceiling before being teleported on the ground. Here's a close view on what's left of him. Poor guy, I hope nothing bad happens with him after this. And the ending credits on the TV is the same projection trick again. The actual credits are under the room on a big black rectangle. There's nothing super interesting in the room itself, but the pictures do show places from the second game, indicating that by the time the DLC was complete, the second game was at the very least in the concept art stage. This is going to be it for the DLC. Hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing, and I'm gonna leave you with a showcase of all the pictures from the pictures wall. Who knows, Maybe some of them show the future of the Little Nightmares franchise.